Happy Tuesday, Wolfpack. Welcome back to the Tuesday vlogs. And today we have a new conversation topic about, I guess, a series of how to get things done. You might be thinking, well, didn't you just talk about that yesterday with your productivity stuff? And I'll say to you, yes, but there's more to it than just outlining your things for productivity. As was so kindly pointed out in the comments, sometimes you need the motivation to actually get things done. And I'm just going to go over how I think about getting stuff done and how I sort of go and do things to get myself motivated to actually work on things. Now, there's a couple of little things, but I think they're helpful. So, Manny commented, wish I had the motivation to get back into making videos, Cyril. I wish I knew what keeps you going. I'm sure the biggest reason is your supporters. Just sidebar, very true. I appreciate all of you. But, here's a caveat. How does one gain supporters when they can't motivate themselves to get any in the first place? 'Tis my issue right now. Thanks for the vid. Thank you very much for commenting. Of course, I try to comment back all the time, but this one I felt deserved its own video. I didn't want to just talk about it in the comments. Motivation is very difficult. People talk about sparks of inspiration, and yes, inspiration is fantastic, but very fickle if you're trying to be a creator because, you know, that just comes whenever it wants to. And I'm fine with that because I've written some of my best stuff just having a spark of inspiration, and all of a sudden I have a death metal track. Whatever. Motivation's harder. Motivation can be difficult because you're in a routine that's not involving a thing, or you broke out of a routine not with what you'd been doing for a long time. Like Manny had been making videos and stopped for whatever reason, lost the will to, I don't know. Now wants to get back into it. It's feeling the bug. It's feeling that itch, that little itch that's just ever so, but you have to go do something about it, and it's hard to. Sometimes you just scratch it a little bit, you're done. No. It's definitely hard to get motivation. I break it down like this. I call it one step at a time. It's easy to get lost, and this is for me anyway. I don't know if this is for you. Please let me know. It's easy to get lost in the overall project, the overall final product that you want to create. It's easy to get lost in that. It's easy to get lost in the end goal, right? Or whatever it happens to be, whether it's 3 videos a month. It's easy to get lost into that. 3 videos a week. It's easy to get lost in any part of that. In fact, this video, I had a hard time getting motivation because I knew I had to edit it. I knew I had to do all sorts of things. I didn't end up writing a script for it, but here I am doing it anyway because it just felt like it would be good to get it done and get it off the cuff. And I started with, just earlier, first step was sitting on the couch, watching TV, watching YouTube videos, having dinner. Right afterwards, gotta get up. Gotta get off the couch. Step 1. Step 2, gotta get in my office. Step 3, got to sit down, set up my webcam. Step 4, work on it. And I didn't think about step 4 until I got to step 4. I knew what I wanted to do, and I just thought super hard about getting through those first steps. Because once you get going, now that I'm doing this, I'm in the loop, I'm in the zone, I'm working on this. This is what I am doing. But until I get there, I could easily just be on the couch. So that's the biggest thing to me, is just step by step to get things done. Now that's just assuming you want to just get things done, because that kind of relies on the idea that you are motivated. Like, there's an internal itch that you just want to do things again. You want to get things completed. You want to get things started and done. And that is, if you have that itch to scratch, once you get to the point where you're scratching it, you're not going to want to stop. And that's a really weird metaphor, but that's basically how it is. I mean, that's how it is for me. I knew I had to get this done. It was in the back of my head, it's just scratching away back there. And I said, no. And I started scratching it now, and I'm getting it done. Now, 10 years ago on the internet, it's easy when you have supporters, and that's true, because first of all, you all give me ideas for videos, and it's easy, because that is another thing that gets hard. If you're lacking for ideas, if that's part of your motivational issue, just don't worry about doing something inspired or anything cool. Just work on a technique. Just be like, man, I wonder what new video editing techniques there are. Just look up a how-to of how to do that and start working on that, and maybe that'll inspire a video. Heck, I've got something similar coming out. Like, I was just thinking about what it would sound like if I did X, and I did it, and it sounded pretty cool. So I'm probably going to release it as a video in the next couple of weeks. Patrons have already heard it. Plug. So, there's a couple of different things. I'd love to expound more on this. We're running out of time. But I just wanted to take the moment to just talk to you about that. Motivation is very difficult when you're trying to create things. Again, don't expect too much of yourself out the gate. That day, if you know you want to work on something and you want to push it off again and procrastinate, just one step at a time your way into working on it. Get yourself up. Take 20 minutes to set up if you have to. It doesn't matter, as long as you get started working on it, because then you're not going to want to stop. So, all right. Well, thanks so much, Manny, for your comment. My question is, how have you gotten yourself out of motivational ruts in the past? Let me know. Comments. And check out, there's a couple of videos links in the description too. Check those out because I did some collaborations. And as usual, Wolfpack, thanks so much for your support, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.